had managed to complete several tasks. Not several tasks. Sorry, wrong party. You had managed to fend off the aforementioned bandits and decided to spend some time. After being informed that you've been not what's the right wording? You've been invited to join in the assistance of pushing of the search and forced expulsion, mind you, of the entire the entire Ironhide bandit group from this city. So we spent it speaking to people. Others decided to go shopping. Others decided to spend some time with some of their equipment and rummage around with it a bit. Let's see here. And as you guys managed to finish, finish up your things and finally meet up at noon at the building, the adventure continues. Wait, were you recording?
Yeah, I started.
Okay, just confirming. So with that, let's see here. So you and your all of you and your compatriots are currently at the front doors and are about to enter. Would any of you like to do anything else beforehand before going in?
Oh,
Um, Alistair would like to change clothing
Okay, we'll say that you do into
to
more fine attire.
to noble attire.
Okay, so in fine clothings. Understood. All right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Sean's robes already look like nobility due to Inquisitor.
All right. Anyone else? No one?
Yeah, I just remembered I wanted to be able to raise talk on a scroll of Revivify because I used up that one to bring up the Canon's man's friend.
All right. Understood. Would you like to get one with that already has the diamonds embedded in the ink?
It would make things a lot simpler, yeah.
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay, just confirming. Then that'll be 450 gold pieces.
I'll pay for that because I said I would.
All right. Just mark that off of mark the money off of your inventory.
Yup.
Anything else?
No, that was it.
All right. And with that, you all enter. The main hall is the floor is covered the floor is a sort of checkered pattern floor, black and white, and with the stone support pillars sort of around this building, sort of spiraling around the center. Give me the sort of where in the center you see a statue of about all the currently known gods of justice and law and order, good and bad, and in between, of course. There are several there are several guards standing at attention, as well as you see like a small not stand. What am I thinking of? A small. I keep forgetting the term. You see a small glass pane on one end, where you see a woman who's currently speaking to a rather like confused Yuan T-man. Appears to be some sort of something about some sort of some sort of like something about directions, likely. And as you're sort of entering, you're asked to disclose if you have any weapons or uh, magical items that can be used to harm others.
Just gonna hold up the gauntlets.
All right.
Orin, no, sorry, I've been playing Orin. Alistair explains that he is a Patch of the Blade Warlock, and he is of the what is the name?
Ghost Rider? Oh, sorry. What was the? Could you? The name of your character's rank?
No, Alistair. That he is of the Knights.
Knight of the Iridescent Cross.
He is a Knight of the Iridescent Cross.
All right. They will ask you out of civility to basically, do not summon your summon your weapons or unless it's in an act of self-defense, in which case you're not to kill. This is considered holy ground or sacred ground, and they wish to keep such things to a minimum to nil. From minimum till nil in terms of bloodshed in general. Anyone else have any weaponry, armor, or any weaponry or
Xeris is
any spells offensive nature?
Xeris is literally existing.
It's more along the lines of just out of civility.
I mean, Xeris would point out that he is a House of Lancers fucking war mage.
And Alistair jokingly says, "Can we put him in the box?"
I mean, no, if you fucking said that out loud, he would fucking laugh at that.
No, they explained that they got rid of the air quote unquote box 70 years ago due to complaints from from several mages guilds.
Damn it.
Due to complaints of it being inhumane.
Don't.
No, Alistair just starts laughing harder.
They have the box actually on display as a sort of point off to a corner, a dark, very dusty looking corner where you see how do I describe this? A metal box with spiked prongs on each corner, with several archaic and rather disturbing iconography on it, usually depicting the lopped off fingers, a cut off tongue, gouged eyes, specifically old tactics of how to kill, of how to non-lethally disarm a mage.
I was actually talking about the weapon box, not that box.
Oh, yeah, that's for the weapons. It's also where they used to hold the bracers for essentially deactivating any spell casting a mage would be able to cast. Though again, due to complaints, mages guilds prevented such thing to be used.
Well, it's good that we are progressing.
Yeah. I'll just need to let's see here. They basically just write up small slips of paper and hand it to all of you who are capable of casting spells and or have a weapon that is effectively summonable. Saying that if you were to, before entering a building, you were to show this to a guard, or before entering before you're entering a room that functions for judicial cases or meetings, you're to just show this to the guard up front before being allowed in.
Warren asks for more because, well, not Warren. Alistair asks for more because, well, as I check through my list, I have magical items at the wazoo.
Well, it's all listed there. That like it's basically like a check mark. Has magical items. Has offensive based magical items. Is capable of summoning a physical weapon. And or
Is there one for your
offensive.
fists? Is there one for your fists literally being a weapon in itself?
That is considered unarmed combatants are considered unarmed combat is considered a self defense sort of thing. So it's also listed there as well.
I mean, monks do exist, so yeah.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, with the nature of the whole Lancer's Fist thing, I was asking purely for the sake of that might affect something. Because after all, Lancer's Fist is, I believe, done through magic. I'm not entirely certain about that, though.
Might be a technique.
It's technically through magic, yes.
I am going to do this. Do you have a donation box by chance?
The donation box, they do not have a donation box for this building. Those are strictly for the churches. They do have a. Let's see. Wait. What can I do right now? They have a sort of that water fountain outside. That kind of functions as a quote unquote donation box. Though they are currently cleaning it out and collecting the coppers and silvers inside.
He walks
So
over
they
and
do not
the guy
recommend
who's
that.
cleaning it out at bar of gold. For some reason, I have a bar of gold.
I think I remember why, but I'll be honest, I'm just not gonna mention as to why. You know what? I'm gonna just mention it. Yeah, it's because you found it in the dungeon, if I recall correctly, under Mount Camerley.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, he just hands it over. Here we go.
They ask you why you're giving them this.
Donation.
Okay, they'll just put it off to the side a little bit. But anyways, each of you gained a slip of paper to basically show to the guards, confirming that you have such and such abilities and stuff. If you decide to disclose them.
Speaking of which, I'm going to tell our boy Alex this. I still have that bar of pure adamantine, if you want it.
Alexis? Oh, you mean Ratchet?
Ratchet. Hey,
It's
Ratchet.
fine.
I got something for you. He hands over the pure adamantine.
So it's a singular bar that's just pure adamantium.
Pure adamantine.
I'll have to mark that separately from like all this stuff. Alright, so
Yeah. Bars of metal, those are technically not considered weapons. Even though you can beat the ever-living hell out of somebody with a skull with it, it's technically not considered a weapon since it's not designed in such a way. Anyway, so each of you are let in, and I take it you've already been given you haven't actually been given the room number of aforementioned meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain places you can check at. You can just look around the rooms and the such that are and ask around, or you can ask the front desk.
Hi, we're here to ask about our meeting place.
All right. Does anyone else want to go to the front desk, or does anyone else want to look at speak to like guards and stuff about like, oh hey, where's such and such meeting?
I'll go with Alistair.
All right. Anyone else? Hello.
Who will?
Oh dear.
What?
Ah, yes.
Sorry, I was getting white. It wasn't the ambiance I'd set. Anyways, where was I? Let's see. Right. So anyone else? So let's see here. So vocable. Is there? So will Soltis go check the front desk or ask around the guards or the location of your meeting hall?
I don't think we really need to split the group for such a thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It'll end. It'll end the same way. Just for the sake of expediency, you guys ask around, like the guards or the front desk. Effectively, they give you the direction. They ask you for your names, and of course, they ask if you have a slip for your if you have any dangerous abilities, which you obviously show. They
Mm-hmm.
then to which they eventually just tell you where to go after giving you like a informing you like, okay, there's the if you need to go to the restroom, it's over there, as it's one of the more common questions.
Is there a cafeteria?
There is no cafeteria. It was not in the budget on the construction of this building, and they don't want to add on to it in fear that whatever sort of enchantment question mark that is currently that warded off the demons may end up being broken
Damn
if
it.
they add anything.
I haven't been to this area for a while. Is that place on 4th and Main still there?
There's multiple small restaurants and a cafe nearby, like within
No,
walking distance.
I'm talking about the place that served the really good tea.
There's one of the restaurants, yeah. Anyway, so each of you go to the aforementioned meeting room where you see the captain of this branch of Rin's inquisitorial order, as well as several other people you do not immediately recognize. You see a dragonborn wearing simple black robes, bearing a silver holy symbol, sort of embedded in, sort of engraved onto a shield that is currently on the table. That appears to depict a sort of crown of spikes. Anyone anyone would immediately recognize it as a shield, as a symbol, the symbol of Asmodeus. You see a much older looking woman, a human woman, gray hair, a large amount of wrinkles, and a very nasty scar over both eyes, as well as where you don't immediately notice at first, you think, oh, she has like hazel eyes. Where upon getting like 5-10 feet closer, you notice that her eyes are milky white. She appears to be blind and does not appear to be wearing any obvious holy iconography. There also appears to be a man in a cloak and some sort of studded leathers that appears to be wearing some sort of wooden mask as well. Who has his staff sort of leaning against the table, as well as a bow. As the captain says, good, you're here. Take a seat. Take a seat.
Okay.
All right. They as each individually take their seat. All right, then he starts by saying, "All right, this meeting can actually begin." Oracle, do you have anything to say? To which he responds, "Nothing good can come from nothing good can come from letting him here." To which the Dragonborn said, "Oh, this is the 5th time this week. Okay. That was a bad call 2 years ago. Are you never gonna let it go?" And she doesn't even look at him as she says, "When I get my eyesight back." "Oh wait." Oh yeah. To which he responds, "Oh, come on, you made it work for you. I mean, look at you. You're an oracle now." And she says, "I didn't want to be blind." And I didn't. And to which he responds, "And I didn't want 3 kids and a wonderful wife. But hey, I got it. You don't see me complaining." Wait, that came out wrong. To which the man in the cloak and wooden mask says, "Quit your yapping. Come on, let's get back to work. I'm getting an itchy. My bowstringing fingers starting to get a bit itchy. And let me tell you, I need a really big scratch today." Because the captain sort of coughs once. My order in the court? Jeez, because this is why I'm not on the bureau. Thank goodness I'm not a bureaucrat. Anyway, so I guess let ourselves be known. Let's let these newer, fresher faces introduce themselves. He just points towards each of you. Introduce yourselves, starting with Armored's character. Just name and titles if you have them.
Alistair Gello, Knight of the Iridescent, Knight of the Knights of the Iridescent Cross,
and Pact Maker.
And Pact Maker.
All right. Points to and as it next to name and possible titles if you have any.
So it pointed to me. Pointed to me.
He's not pointing at anyone. He's gesturing towards the entire party to introduce themselves.
I'll say. I am Sean. I am an innate spellcaster, but I'm also a divine caster as well. I'm a follower of Salon, an Inquisitor, to be precise.
All right. All right, Alex.
All right. Yeah, Rachel look on. It's like name's Mobile Forge Contract 91, but I prefer the name of Ratchet.
Any titles?
Above game. Do I actually have any out of this house besides that? Like.
Yeah, you do have your clan name. Your clan's name, Blackhammer.
Oh yeah, Ratchet.
Of clan Blackhammer.
Yeah, of clan Blackhammer. Right.
All right. Vocable.
Synthesis Virgin, House of Bishops, Black Warmage. That is
All right.
That's it.
Solithus, what the Dragonborn, the other Dragonborn in Black Robe says, "Why does that name ring a bell? Oh wait, you're his kid, aren't you? I think I knew your dad. He kicked my ass a few years back when we were kids. How's the old bastard doing?"
I believe he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's always a bookworm. Good to hear that he's doing fine.
Speaking of which, I'm actually his brother. Older brother, mind you.
And your name, and he says, your name would be? Titles, of course.
Of course. Ruby Lance's Zeris Ferocian.
All right. I guess it only makes sense to introduce me. Oh, wait, actually, wait. there's your compatriots here. Augustus will chime. I'll just say, Augustus Horatius, steel magic witch, bounty hunter. Sutrue will say, Suteru. Let's see, samurai of Rachato Abrakama. For the you could probably safely assume Ranger says, "Oh, don't get many foreigners from the Chicago Royal Empire. This should be interesting." And finally, Gret Jr. Gret Jr. Blackhammer, though some people call me Junior of Clan Blackhammer. And the Inquisitorial says, I guess the other three people here should introduce themselves. The Dragonborn, who's a red, Draken-blooded Dragonborn, almost forgot that, says, F. Father Tyrannus, local priest of Asmodeus, and also occasional party pooper. If your father didn't have his way. The woman, the older woman, sort of just if she were looking directly at him, she would be leering at him. She says, let's see here, Susie Batois, local Susie Batois, local oracle, and priestess of local former priestess of Saramre, now priestess of Miseria. And the last guy is Bob, local huntsman and founder and leader of Vrin's druidic circle. To which Augustus says, Druidic circle? Last time I checked, only druids can be leaders of druidic circles. And he says, yeah, I'm just that good. And he says, and you probably already know me. I'm the captain of the local Inquisition. But let's cut pleasantries short. You already know why we're here. I take it.
Did you enter your boat game? There's a boat game. What was the
in-game
above game?
Yeah.
What was the Dragonborn's like stuff again?
Oh, sorry, the other Dragonborn?
Yeah, it was went by the description kind of quick.
Oh yeah, sorry. He's a red draken-blooded Dragonborn, wearing black robes, simple black robes with a symbol on the table with a silver holy symbol engraved on top on the shield itself. That bears the symbol of Asmodeus.
So is Priest Asmodeus. What was that name again?
Father Tyrannus.
Alright.
So he just says, I take it you all know why we're here?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Then the ranger says, "Yep, bandits. Why are you bringing in all this new blood here? Last time I checked, it's just a local sect of the Ironhides. They can take care of them easily."
That's when they reached into my family home.
Ah, right. No, he responds, right, nobles. Oh,
killed our city's guards, and masqueraded as them.
Yeah.
oh, fun. Now it's personal. To which the Inquisitor just, the captain slams his fist onto the table and says, 2 strikes. And he just says, he waves his hands up in surrender. Fine, fine, I'll just keep my mouth shut and let my expertise come up when it comes convenient. Yeah. I just don't see the point in having a meeting like this. Back in my day, you just need a couple hundred of my men and women, and you could just have them all gone within a few days. To which he responds,
And
things aren't.
the city guard would hear him, and the city guard would hear him mutter, "Yeah, most of them tieflings, and most of them would die."
No, it don't really say anything like that. And he says, to which he just says, most of them taken care of. Any of the stragglers choked out. And to which the captain says, that's why mortal resources is became necessary. He says, come on, complaining about our methods on bandits and cultists, especially demon cultists. Come on, we all know the problem with demon cultists. It's a problem with the public good, and they're generally not nice to play with. Look, these are just bandits. Yeah, they killed some guys. Got my sympathies there. Just why all this flair for the dramatic? I don't see the point. Hell, you gestures towards your party. You could hire these schmucks and have them kill the entire bandit group for all I care. I don't care. You hired me? That's fine. I don't care. I get to experiment a little bit with some toys. But why bring Father Tyrannus and Susan? Come on. What's the point?
He was also telepathically to Bob. And I was like, I'm suddenly clear a lot for somebody who doesn't care.
He sort of just, great, and psionics. Ugh.
It's bring up a really good question, though.
I care because I don't like my time being wasted. To which
But
Captain
you just
sort
said
of...
you didn't care.
Yeah,
Well,
but I don't like my
No,
time
I
being
said you
wasted.
actually brought up a good question as well, in that why involve literally everyone when all you would need is a certain amount of power? It seems like overkill, if anything. Although,
That's kind of the point.
No, the Captain says, no, there's a reason for it. He sort of pulls a small... he pulls out from inside of his coat a small crystal, and from another pocket a small device. Some of the artificers have been having some fun and decided to experiment with something yesterday night after your unfortunately bothersome guests had snuck their way in. As he just sort of slides it onto the table and gestures for the Tyrannus, who just rolls his eyes as he casts Mage Hand and moves place the crystal on top, where he pushes it, and you hear the device whir. The crystal begins to glow slightly as a illusion suddenly appears like a foot above it. The illusion itself is about 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall, 10 feet high, and 10 feet long. It appears to depict a wooden room, not wooden room, a marble floored room with wooden walls, where you all see a familiar face. That bandit cannoneer that you turned onto your side. He appears to be just sitting there, twiddling his thumbs, just whistling very badly, some sort of bardic, old bardic song.
Don't need to actually
All
whistle
that.
because leaking.
As a door from one of the walls opens, as you see two guardsmen, a half elven woman and a human man. The half elven woman is looks to be like in her early 20s, and the human man appears to be in his late 40s. Both of them appear to be wearing simple leather armor. As they take a seat in front of him, he just sort of sits there waiting. So, Mister, just call me Boom. The old man says, "We are not calling you Mister Boom." Says, "Oh, come on, do me a favor."
You're better off calling him Mr. Torg.
Uh, Mister, she pulls out a small sheet of paper. Mister, oh, what? Okay, Mister Krusk, was it? You're boring. You're no fun. Come on, just call me Mister Boom. Just humor me a little. And the old man.
Just, I imagine old man sigh, just.
Yes, these younger folk and their nicknames. Just, okay, Mister Boom, the half elf says, to which the human gives her the side eye. Can you tell us as to the reason you've been very cooperative as of recent? You've answered all of our questions. You've even gone above and beyond and disclosed the actual identities of your other colleagues. You've been very unusually nice. Yeah, I mean, those those people, the ones that knocked us all out. Gotta say, nice people. Even if I sucker punched one of them in the jaw after he just shrugged off my fire. But don't hold against him. Why would I? But yeah, I've been cooperative. Why is that bad? Twisty says, no, it hasn't. It's quite kind of you. You're welcome. But there's a few questions we have to ask. The old man just raised a hand like, let me handle this. All right, why did you kill two of our men? He says, well, I didn't kill two of them. That was my friend. Gerald? The drow man? Yeah, Gerald. He always loves his short swords. Him and his short swords. He never changes, which is why I like him. He's consistent. Unlike those other guys. Never understood the wizarding arts. It's just all lame. And I'm not saying that because I'm jealous. I'm not. As he looks away for a moment, the half elf says, right, just nodding.
And telepathically is also just right.
The human man just says, "All right, well, let's cut the bullshit and get to the brass tacks." And he says, "Oh, I love brass." The bandit, the orc man says, "Oh, I love brass."
Of course he would.
He just takes another deep inhale and groans.
I can't tell if that was a bad joke or him being sincere. Son of a bitch.
What, you don't? He just stares daggers at him. Oh, so yeah, you don't like fun. No wonder. no wonder you're probably alone. He just slapped to which you saw his face. All right, and to which the half will just raise him. Stop! Come on! Takes him off to a corner, and you hear some slight whispering. Anyone with a passive perception of over 14 would overhear that she's basically that she's saying, "Look, I know you don't like him. I know he's being a bit eccentric. He's eccentric. He's acting like a. If we had, look, just leave me here. Give me 5 minutes with him, and he'll be squealing like a pig for everything. It has to be It has to be it. It's not consistent. He's been very cooperative. Everyone else here is like just hush, like whisper, 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 whisper bullshit. As he just play along for now.
Sorry.
He just groans a bit as they both take their seat. What was all that for? He's had a hard week. I understand. I've had a hard week too. Mostly breaking boulders and all that, but I guess that kind of hard counts, right? Right? The old man is at his wit's end as he takes another inhale. The half elf just no, it's daughter's getting married. He's congratulations. And who's a lucky Is it? He says, tiefling man. Is it? What's so bad about that? It's a cultural thing. Is it? Okay. I still don't understand it, but okay. So what do you need to ask me? Is it why are you here? Why did you kill 2 of our men? And what? He slams his fist down, standing up. He says, "Why did you kill 2 of our men? Why did you burn down the docks last night? And why did you assault that noble's house?" The half elf just sits there horrified, and the half orc just sits there, just whistles a bit, an actual whistle. Wow. Well, you're really angry. You might need to see a doctor. You might need to see a priest about that. And he looks like he's about to strangle him, but he just
laughing.
Yeah, the Asmodeus priest is having a absolute fit. He's just laughing at this guy. His absolute demeanor. But I'll answer your question. See, the big boss wanted to burn down the docks because to prevent other people from coming in. But and also according to him, you had some what do they call them? Poor holy materials. We had teleportation circle materials there, but how did he? And then he wanted to end up setting up. Then he ended up killing some of the guys so we could get some disguises because nothing personal. I'm sure they're wonderful people. I'm really sorry that they're gone, but the boss's orders, you don't want to end up complaining about to the upper parts of the chain of command. The human man just collapses onto the chair and takes a deep exhale. I know it. And then there's the whole thing with the noble's house. See, I really don't have a problem with them. They seem like swell people. Really good people. Honestly. If I could count, I'd give them the highest number out of the highest number. That's how it works, right? And she just gestures go on. One of her eyes starts to twitch. Right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, did I cut off?
No, if I remember there, I just thought you died.
You're just alright, and then silence.
So
He continues on, saying, "All right, so the big boss wanted us to destroy the whole place for all that to leave a message. actually told me that message as well. Actually told all of us that message in case anyone survived and was caught. And they just gestures like go on. Oh yeah. Oh wait, what was the message? Right, Gruel's back in town. Just the half elf just goes. Eyes just go absolutely wide, and
Would
she
any
just
of
starts screaming
Who is that?
as the quote unquote recording uh, shuts itself down or ends there. Anyone who may roll anyone who would like to, who has may roll history. However, if you have a criminal background, you'd roll with advantage. So only Mass would be able to.
Not 20.
22?
20,
Am I allowed
28.
one?
Somehow I've heard of this person. Well, 5 years of travel could do that.
Sad
Yeah.
Don't worry.
studying.
It's he's originally from the city, so
Thousands of years of studying. You pick up names.
Yeah. Actually, kind of makes sense as to why Alistair Shaw actually, excuse me, why Ratchet actually knows him uh, as well as as well as Xeris. So basically, this group character has been known by many names. Gruul the terror of the eastern mountains. Gruul the thunder caller. Gruul the beautifully mustached. He came into prominence about 50 odd years ago. When he started raiding small caravans, specifically carrying magical items. For being for as in he was very successful for a very long time, and though he was caught a few times, he always managed to break out. He only became more of a problem when he ended up how do I put this? He ended up robbing a very heavily protected caravan. This caravan was actually an Erytherian caravan that was delivering experimental weaponry and blueprints and copyright bonds from the from the Serenian Empire to the Eurasian Empire, functioning sort of as a trade of things, of some stuff. He he ended up robbing the entire thing and ended up killing every single person there except for the artificer, who even now is forced to recreate these weapons. These weapons being known colloquially by the Caribbean company of the Steel Hides bandit group as hand cannons. The hand, not so much of a literal hand cannon as a cannon you can hold in your hands, both hands to be precise. They're capable of long ranged damage, and capable to not just people but also they can greatly damage buildings, mostly made of wood but also stone as well. Capable of digging in a hole about 6 inch, about 1 foot deep, which yeah, that's a very deep crack in a stone wall, which makes them very dangerous for sea when it comes to facing them in a siege. Gruul's full name is Gruul Carbium, though people know him more. People are much more easily recognize him as the Exterminator. He is one of the lieutenants, or the higher, or the more powerful lieutenant, one of the powerful lieutenants of the Steel Hides bandit group. He has, and it looks like he's been able to reproduce these quote unquote hand cannons at a much higher rate. Ratchet, you know them because they've become a bit of a problem near your father's mines. Alistair, you know them especially well because the Iridescent Cross sent knights over to, well, make sure that, to escort magic item caravans. Asana knows them because of some tales and legends. And Zeris, you know them because you barely survived one of their fights. A fight with them.
Yeah, dude.
Hey.
I'll fill you
Hey,
in.
dude.
An hour later than I said I'd be, but it is what it is.
Yes. You are an hour late. Or later than you were originally agreed. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just being a little shady.
Alright, so.
Anyways.
What was the name
So
of the bandit again? So, like text.
I'll write it in.
Yeah.
Here's Gruul.
Yeah,
So
essentially you came into.
Gruul Carbium.
Yeah. You came into the two people questioning the Mr. Boom, as it were.
oh,
Cannon Man.
is
The left.
anyone questioning the assassin?
That'll be explained later on.
Yeah.
Basically, the bandits that were sent to assail the Mr. Oh yeah, Mr. Alistair's family are specifically those who work under Gruul Carbion, also known as the Exterminator, one of the lieutenants of the Steel Hide bandit group.
Do we know the other two names?
No.
So all we got is the name of the main person that's leading this bandit group, but we don't know any of the co-captains.
Yeah,
The other lieutenant,
Yeah, the
or the
lieutenants.
captains.
Yeah, the lieutenants. Yeah. So, wait, is Gruul the leader of the bandits, or is he just one of the?
He's one of the lieutenants.
Okay, so
He's one of many heads of the organization. And it's just here the recording, as it's been called, these newfangled technologies and all that, has been cut off at the near the very end. But effectively, Gruul Carbium is here in Britain. He is in this city in Britain, and we don't know where he is exactly in Britain.
So, I'm guessing that you try to question Mr. Boom where he might be located, and he just didn't know.
He doesn't know.
What about
Apparently, they move around actively.
Okay, so what about the other assailants that we managed to capture? Do they have any extra information?
That's the thing. They all had relatively the same information. Gruul Carbium is here. He set his sights on this place.
He is probably one of those people that's so important that he himself is on a need to know base.
Likely.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
And about it sounds a bit. Yeah, sorry, you can continue.
He doesn't show unless he needs to be shown.
No, he, according to according to the prisoners, he doesn't show unless he wants to show up, and when he shows up,
It's big trouble.
let's put it simply, he killed 23 legions of men and women when we were guarding the hand cannons that has now made him quite infamous.
Alright, so.
He killed every single one of them.
The little
And that was
ones.
before he had that weapon.
Alright, so.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps it goes to show how weak they were.
We're gonna need to be careful going up against those weapons.
Yeah.
I've actually been, what would be the term? Fired upon by one of them,
Okay, so.
and let's just say one of them nearly hit me.
Yeah.
Nearly.
Yeah, it sounds unpleasant, but.
Oh, it was.
Alright, so. Were any of them given information of where to meet up after they supposedly finish with this town? Or anything with this executioner, so to speak?
Yes, a small dive bar known as the Broken Anchor. We've spoken to the keeper, to the owner of the place. No one showed up,
That means he
and it
probably.
seems that no one.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, okay.
actually, no. There were some people that showed up, but they left after a few minutes, likely after seeing that there wasn't anyone there. But they were heavily armed.
The captain kind of speaks up. Now, why would they show up there? It's not necessarily a dive bar. It looks like it from the outside, but on the inside, it's actually not too bad.
But it sounds a bit. This executioner played it smart and sent subordinates to check out, just meet up with the others. And when they didn't show, they left before anyone could question them.
Probably it was immediate this time, exactly, or I'm not sticking around.
Yeah. So now we just gotta see where he might be hiding out. And if my memory serves correctly, there has been a lot of activity near, well, our father's mines, Junior, of like these bandits. So there might be a good place to start at any, because a lot of.
Yeah, yeah. I remember he nearly killed several miners and almost caved in one of the caves. I ended up digging out the place for weeks.
This is
Yeah.
get some firepower of our own.
Well, give me and Junior enough time, we could probably make it some good firepower, but not as good as artificers, as far as I tell. The artificers can make some really potent stuff. Craftsmen are more creative, I would think.
One of the oracle, Susie, chimes in. Some say they're looking to combine the benefits and powers of machinery and magic together. Madness, I say, but I mean that describes artificers to a point.
What?
Yeah.
Now he has an interesting thought. Uh, if they want to combine machinery and magic, wouldn't they be interested in that machine cult that's wanting to be a religion?
Oh shit.
They they're actually one of the countries funding the funding or that will fund that former cult. How did you know that? How did you know of them?
They're
She's speaking specifically to Rosewinter.
oh,
I
are we
heard,
not in the room together?
You, oh, sorry, and
I,
Rosewinter and you, Ratchet. Sorry.
Jeez.
Around the
I,
circular room.
I heard of them from boots on the ground. Uh, After I had gotten off the ship, I decided, for a drink. The bartender of the Broken Anchor said to give him a hello.
Susie turns to the captain and says, "You really should shut down his bar if he's leaking out information like that all willy-nilly." Toji responds, "Yeah, but there's literally nothing we can charge him on. He he keeps the front of the building clean enough for it to not considered condemned, and the inside's well taken care of, and the alcohol's good."
You probably have your own men to blame for it as well.
Uh,
Alcohol tends to loosen lips.
Yeah, well, but all you really can do is hope that he slips up and you can catch him. But until then, it sounds like you're just
There
gonna
has
sit
there
there.
has to be at least there has to be at least one person who knows where he's at. That one person has a price on their head.
That's what we've been doing, but we haven't been able to get anywhere. We've sent out spies. We've used diviners to go search into them. You gesture towards the oracle. I could not see him. Mysterious sight is appears appears to be blinded from him. He might have some wards.
Yeah.
She merely hears your heh as she turns to you. Mind your tongue, young man. I can still throw down with the best of them, as the children say.
I,
And oh, sorry.
Please do not hurt my friends, as they are under the protection of the Gallo family.
I was glad that the children said.
Was that out of character?
above game, I was trying to say ha, not ha, and
Ah, okay.
like, I was just gonna give a little.
My apologies.
I was gonna give a little bit of peace, but I guess it's already explaining what I was gonna say, and then I was gonna
Yeah.
add in something after she was done.
Yeah, my bad.
Since divination is
But but
possibility.
Father Tyrannus does say, "Ha, blinded." She sort of looks at him, but just gives him the stink eye.
I
Well,
think
But
me
is
to
not
throw,
looking
or
at him,
should
so
you?
it kind of loses its impact.
How,
He's actually looking at the ranger. He's like, "What did I? Oh, right."
hmm, if I'm
Anti-divination can be a real possibility.
I personally think you're looking in the wrong places.
and my honest thought and concern is, what if there's someone deep undercover that's working for you guys? That's actually working for this bandit group.
It wouldn't surprise me, actually. Now that-
Yeah. Like, how else would he know to protect himself from scrying and be seemingly a step ahead?
I mean,
Well,
that's just commonplace. It's very smart when divination magic exists as it is.
Yeah, true.
And every country has at least one hell of a diviner.
Or multiple.
Yeah.
At
But
least.
it seems
We have more than others due to our
Yeah.
higher number of priests and clerics and oracles.
Yeah, but it
Captain
seems like
says.
he's directly a step ahead instead of seeming like most, well, bandits are.
Perhaps he has some knowledge of the guard's captain. Perhaps one of them might be former guardsmen or like my friend has been saying, an actual guardsman.
Alright, so. So you're saying that maybe one of the people amongst the guard had an encounter with them in the past and they just happen to know a lot more?
And ranger just says, "Oh, maybe he's one of you, or maybe one of the spies is one of you guys."
Oh.
The captain just sort of just says, you're this close to strike 3.
Actually,
Make me start a duel. I just, you want to go?
Lady.
enough.
We can do
Enough,
go
please. That's
tomorrow because
enough.
today I'm actually going to be busy with some kid's birthday.
Both of you enough.
He actually uses thaumaturgy. Enough.
You're fighting like petulant children, and I expected better of the guardsmen.
Well, that's because we're
He-
brothers. The ranger says.
That explains it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know all his buttons. You're so
Why are you
easy.
pushing them? Why are you pushing them
He
now?
like just loud growl from the large tiefling man.
Alright. To help get the subject back at hand, what do you like? Where do you think we should start? Because I'm thinking that the Black Hammer, like our father's Black Hammer mine, is a good place to start because there's been a lot of activity where those bandits have been raiding. Might be a good place.
It would be, but as as Mrs. Rosewinter has brought up, there are thoughts of spy being in our midst, or at the very least, an unknown mole, an unwilling mole.
And I think I know a way to draw them to us. If you're willing to entertain a stupid, crazy idea.
You may speak You may speak, pact maker.
Tell them they failed. Say it out loud. Put it on every choir on every corner.
I think I understand what you're getting at. Perhaps if we were to give them information that they cannot refuse to relay, we keep a track on those who leave.
And if one of those tracks goes bye-bye, well,
That's a good idea. That's actually where you guys would come in. He reaches into his pocket and fills out a paper, a full scroll, which takes about a few minutes actually, as he signs several spots. All right.
and Alistair being the shit, don't forget to sign it in triplicate.
This is the third form. This is the third copy. This is the one I was going to give you guys, as he slides it over to your groups to Solithus.
Alistair actually raises his hand and asks Solithus to pass it over.
Are you there? Oh dear. I'll just say he does.
And he takes out tiny reading glasses and starts going over it.
Basically, this is a. Let's see here. You go over the exact name. This is a lower class divine edict, say specifically towards the. Let's see here. Specifically signed under the Church of. Let's see. Oh, what the fuck was? Oh, my notes. My notes. Why do you have to be partially obscured?
Partially.
Just copy and up. There it is. Under the Church of Torag and Tyr. It is a lower class divine edict that your party is allowed to interrogate by whatever means necessary, as long as it ends in the capture of Gruul Carbion. Capture or execution. Yes, if you choose to accept it. If you're not, I have another job you might find interesting. It does involve the Black Hammer mines, actually. We have some. We have some agents over there currently setting up a sort of trap. Something they can't refuse. Something they don't want to refuse. We're going to be having you oversee a trap that uses an artifact as bait.
Ratchet,
Yes.
this has to do with your family property. And he also, yeah, he also looks at Junior.
Huh.
He's,
Is that
yeah, I heard. Artifact?
there's so here's something interesting. Who's not to say we can't split up and each group tackles what they want to?
Because by the sounds of it, we're best to stick together as a group.
Yeah. And we'd need, and either way, we would need
Yeah, but the artifact sounds like a clear bait, but
of the Black Hammer clan due to the nature of this artifact.
yeah, but
If you'd like to know, I am fully allowed under the union to disclose the information of what the artifact is.
yeah, because as far as I'm aware, I wasn't aware of any artifact that was anywhere near the black our family mine, so to speak.
There
Uh,
isn't.
I'm
We brought it over.
Ah, okay. Got it. That was me above game
so
confusion. Okay. Clarified. Alright.
so what? You have my curiosity now.
Yeah, so what is this artifact?
Do I first things first? Do you formally ask for the permission for the knowledge of what the artifact's name is?
uh,
What? Why this roundabout way of?
It's bureaucracy. Don't
Yeah,
ask.
Yeah, the Father Tyrannus just chuckles. Union the bureaucracy never changes. You're welcome, by the way.
Kids on tape.
Well, the Captain Rose, went to formally ask the information of this artifact.
I need the request from a Black Hammer.
Oh my God!
but yeah, because they are using our mine as essentially a trap.
Yeah. As Father Tyrannus just says, "You're welcome," as he's leaning back in his chair like a little shit.
Alright. Junior, you have more right of this mine than I do because you are technically the eldest son.
I formally request the identity of the artifact you're bringing near the family mounds. He says, "All right." The item brought over there is actually something discovered by, as he waves his hand towards the Asmodean priest. And he says, "By yours truly," as I don't myself have the name, but he does. As the father says, "All right, so basically, back about 30 odd years ago, back when I used to travel with these schmucks, before." Sorry, did I cut off?
No,
Yes.
I heard these smucks.
Before I traveled around, back when I used to travel with these schmucks, before they became old, boring, and lame, we used to be quite the group of adventurers. It was fun. It was really fun. And then we ended up finding something that was even more fun, but I wasn't allowed to keep it because, oh, Father Tyrannus, why, you can't have that item. It's too dangerous. Ha 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 ha. No. Anyways, bygones be bygones. Like bygones be bygones. The artifact in the artifact in question is a, let's see here. What was it again? I'm just fucking with you. No, it is a lantern actually made out of the entire body of a living phoenix. The first made from the bone from made from the body of the first phoenix. This lantern is called actually literally called the Lantern of the First Flame. This lantern is capable of casting out a lot of fire-based spells that are able to glass an entire mountain. I should know. I did that once. That's why you got the city over here. And the captain says, watch it. It's, oh, come on, they're probably going to find out anyways. Yeah, I got this entire city because of me. You're welcome.
That's good.
Part of me also wishes to strangle you with how badly tieflings are somewhat treated.
Hey, I'm the one who's looking to make sure that that tieflings are being treated with the same respect that humans are. It's just that most of the union doesn't really. Most of the union has some heavy pushback against it. I think those fucking Imediates.
Oh god, do not get me started on them.
Anyways, politics and racial prejudices aside, that is the artifact being placed there, as that is going to be used there. If it falls into the hands of the bandits, well, it's gonna be a very bad day. But if Mr. Carbion were to control this and were to be left here into his own devices, well then bye bye Evrin. Hello, Gruul Superstate.
So we have an option of possibly hunting down the man that might cause this, or we secure this artifact.
Well, you make sure it doesn't get stolen.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I said we can go for the person in power, or we can claim an artifact and then stop him from gaining more power.
Actually, would he know of this artifact already?
Well, Captain says we set out a bait for them.
So you've let the information leak.
Yep.
Here's
the thing. It's a 50-50 chance that they're Gruul's either going to be there to make sure the artifact is securely stolen, or he's going to stay here to make sure that he can take this city and try to off you guys.
Now,
wherever you go, he's probably going to go after you guys. Apparently, according to the Mr. Boom, apparently he's actually hunting down any member of the Seven Nobles Guild here.
But
specifically, apparently, a small handful of what remains of your party, it kind of sort of raided their leader's base and ended up destroying most of the building. Flashback to Ratchet literally juggernauting the walls.
Oh yeah, where I found more holy steel.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So he has a personal... If he has a personal vendetta against us, why don't we lead him to a spot where we control it?
That's your choice. Either you can have it here in the city, or you can have it over there in the mountains. The problem I see is that it's the artifacts the artifact can be a problem.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, the artifact,
yeah.
if he falls in the hands, could destroy this town. Whereas if we lead him to the mountain and he still gets it, he only lose a mountain, but he still could have a better chance of getting it back without ever worried about civilians.
Oh. It's not just the mountain. As Captain gestures towards part of the time rises. Yeah. When I said the you have me to thank for this wonderful little city here in the Irana Union, I wasn't lying. This used to be an entire mountain with cliff face looking overseeing the ocean. It was really beautiful. And then I destroyed it because I was bored.
And this is why we. Oh, and Alistair just stands up, looks at him, puts his hands out, and goes, "And this is why we can't have nice things."
Hey man, are you gonna complain about the beachside view, the really not perfect ocean, perfect water temperature,
I kind of
the
like the beaches.
absolutely want to die for
Uh,
pastries?
all right, gloating
I
aside
prefer,
about what you did in the past,
I prefer
what's
mountains, so no.
what do you guys think of where
I
what
think we
I
could go after the lantern.
hmm. If
No,
we go after the lantern, we might be able to use it
I,
against this fellow.
I think
Yes, I kind of have an idea. If you guys don't mind putting a target on our backs.
I mean,
that's why we asking for your permission.
I mean a
Here,
bigger target on our back.
well, here's my thinking. Yeah, sure, we might be able to use the lantern on them if we were to actually be able to obtain it ourselves. But at the same time, if we do show up to aid with the lantern and whatnot, that runs a very high risk of Grover actually getting a hold of it himself, and, well, that's game for all but Alistair there at that point.
yeah.
now here's a question: Does the artifact in question does it require you to get all friendly with it? I think it's called attunement. That's what the
attunement.
fancy people are calling it.
A lot of artifacts require that, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I don't I think it's clearly clear that all artifacts that I believe I know of require it, but
Well,
Yeah, they
I could
do.
be spotting.
then here's the thing: if we protect it and we get to there first, he shouldn't be able to use it
yeah,
if it
That's one
requires.
possibility. That's why we're bringing this up to you. We do have several plans set up. You just have the choice, but if you'd like, you can send some of your compatriots over to make sure that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
I,
Hmm,
yeah, I'd rather take care of this lamp personally myself.
Mm.
hmm.
Plus,
Agreed.
yeah, plus it's like would sound like a bit better setting up like a trap inside a mountain than it would be inside of a town.
Augustus chimes in. I'm fine either way. I have experience in urban environments and mountain environments. I can come up with a plan either way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I could lead the
I'm
group if
much
you need me, either stay or go.
I'm much more I'm more suited for urban environment, but the artifact is important. So
We
I'd
have a group
rather.
of paladins and clerics. We have several dozen inquisitors over there.
I would
So if
also.
you, yeah,
A town would be good for an ambush, though.
Yeah,
the
that's the
downside
thing.
is if we fail on the lantern job, if you fail on the on guarding the first flame, well, we don't know what they'll do with it. However, if you fail in preventing Gruul from wrenching control over this city, I don't know how safe people are going to be here.
Well, here's my thinking on that matter. If we fail in the part of, as you said, protecting the city itself, then even if we were to go to the mountain, we would have nowhere to return to
Sure.
once it was done.
So,
We also have, from what I've heard, holy huntsmen have been deployed for the safeguarding of them. They're far more powerful than far more powerful, but fewer in number in terms of normal guardsmen.
Anti.
is that the other group?
The other faction of the Inquisition, under the Iranian Union, yes.
What would it take for me to become the living pact?
You'd have to meet. You have to actually meet the Ashen Wolf.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where he'll meet you, not the other way around.
Yeah. Though, I'll just say this: you do know of ways to expedite it.
No?
I'll PM you the details, but nevertheless.
Please.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, should we, with all that's done and that, I think we pretty much agreed that we're all cool with going after the first flame and going towards Black Armor's mine, as it so were, right?
I'm not too sure because, like I said, if the town were to not be protected, or the town had failed to be protected in some fashion, then, well, like I said, we'd have nowhere to go fucking back to at that point.
Though we can leave capable people behind.
Yeah, and nothing says we can't take the town back when we get back.
the problem is, the possible casualties,
Yeah,
especially of people who live here.
Yeah, so it's either we lose a town or we lose a grand weapon that could actually cause more destruction.
You either lose a town and perhaps some family or friends who are currently residing in this town, or you might lose a super weapon.
Yeah, which could, cause more destruction and death.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Coast.
I mean,
The more compatriots you send out, I'll just say, the higher the chance of success.
I mean, realistically, I don't think we need our compatriots. At least on this.
Yes, if we have backup from the Inquisition, we're good.
I think what we should be fine on our own. We send our allies, our friends, over there to the city while we're safeguarding the relic, the artifact.
So,
Alright. Yeah, that could work.
I can see that. They're capable.
Did my squire come with me? My other
No.
squire, not.
No.
Sasha's with me, right?
Yes, she is currently with you.
I thought so.
yeah, so
Alistair would have asked if he would like to come.
So they.
What was that?
It's not that your squire wants to come. It's more along the lines of that your party members and compatriots were the ones who were specifically summoned to.
I bet they can't. He can't. This is like government official stuff, and he's not high enough clearance for it.
yeah, it's essentially he works technically underneath you, so any information you get, you have to essentially relay to him because he doesn't have the proper rank yet.
He actually asks Shauna to. Can you get a connection with him?
Well, I can certainly try.
So while you're relaying that, for the sake of brevity. um,
I I do want to ask what Sasha's opinion, what she thinks would be good.
She honestly thinks that over here the party would have over here the party would have the home field advantage. Their group is far more skilled and well accustomed to urban warfare compared to out in the mountains.
Yeah. Well,
And that, yeah,
that's exactly Rose Winter's thought, where
yeah.
sh-
And with
sh-
the and with the weapon being protected by huntsmanable people, let's see if she knows a lot about them.
yeah. So,
can I actually?
For
Yeah.
anyone who wants to know about huntsmen, roll religion.
yeah, like you can do
Here's
that.
Religion.
a question: would those of us from Perrin get advantage?
Yes, you would.
All right,
Uh,
yeah, that's what I
You
could
would.
wanted.
you?
Oh yeah.
Can I? Is it history or religion?
It's specifically history or religion, whichever you prefer.
Yo.
There's
It's
28 in
it's
religion.
it's the exact same modifier either way. So
That's good. It's got the
Uh,
natural fucking 20.
So, Rosewinter, you remember this? I'll just go by the from lowest to
Also got
highest.
a 28.
So from the yeah. So from the lowest, Xeris. You think on them? You've heard some you've actually read some books about them, but they're all fiction. From what you've read, they're all in the fiction section. They're like extremely powerful, or they're very powerful, very skilled uh, operatives of the government that are allowed to do things that most of the Inquisition is not allowed to do. Basically, the equivalent of the CIA.
if I may be so bold as to ask, so basically the vibe I'm getting is Navy SEALs essentially.
Less Navy SEALs and more along the lines
More
of
like Black Ops.
Black
Yeah.
Ops, yeah.
The SA.
Yeah, that sort of
Full
thing. Yeah.
deniability, since they're also considered a private organization
Yeah,
under the Inquisition.
Yeah, it's a privately trained army that's well funded and well armed.
Though nobody knows how many huntsman groups there are.
Yeah,
There could be hundreds, there could be two, there could be thousands,
yeah,
but
which
nobody
works, yeah.
knows.
It's one of those things that works to their advantage, but because it's the unknown element which gives them all the advantage you really need.
Yeah. Sasha says, I know that they have a connection with. They have a connection with many deities, but they are not very. They're not allowed to reveal what they do. It's all private. I don't. And anything that is known is similarly redacted.
Yeah.
So all this. Mm-hmm.
Can we take a bio break, please?
Sure, go ahead.
I need to make
Take
dinner.
turns.
Okay.
All right, understood.
Yeah, well, you take a break. I do have a question for you, Auntie, while we're waiting. So the more companions you leave behind in the town to help protect it, the more likely it's going to succeed, right? So who currently are companions? How many companions do we actually have? Like
Your compatriots.
compatriots.
there's Augustus.
Because
Let's
I know
see.
I think some of them are just not with us or have technically retired.
It's the hunt. It's the hunting. It's your compatriots list of agents.
There's Junior, Augustus, and Sudaru.
Yeah, that's all that's
You also have your lackeys, no pun intended, lack of a better term, Mister Quote Unquote Boom.
Dude, if me and Junior can make Boom a better cannon, we.
I'll just say this: it requires the touch of an artificer. It's very complex.
Yeah, that's That's one downside of craftsman. Craftsmen they can be very creative, but when you want explosives, you gotta go artificer.
or another type of artificer or another type of craftsman. But yeah,
Yeah, a
Literally an
specific.
explosive property.
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
That is a thing.
And yes, and there's also let's see here. So you also have your lackeys, Mister Boom, unquote, Mister Boom, and also the assassin,
Yeah.
Mister Suicidal Assassin.
We could convince assassin like you could get die defending this town. Like, you son of a bitch, I'm in.
Anyways, yeah. So
Yeah, but
there we
with
go.
but it's still the thing of like we're probably gonna end up to take one companion with us. But if you wanna like make the odds best in our favor, I guess we could leave all the companions behind. But I'd kind of feel bad for leaving Junior behind, missing out a chance to check out the old family mine.
I mean, to be honest, if the Inquisition is as powerful as Auntie was starting to say, excuse me, starting to say, then I believe we might not even need to go there ourselves if we drop
Here's
all
it. There
of.
is a chance of failure.
There's
It's
always a
just
chance
that
of failure.
yeah, it's just that you're sending in yourselves will allow you to make sure that you have a say in whether it, less that and more along the lines of that you will have a say in whether or not it fails
Yeah.
because of your abilities. Though if you send your agents, I'll say the odds of success increasing. The odds of success increase by 10% per compatriot.
Yeah. So right
Sending
now,
out lackeys will increase it by 5%.
yeah, current. Yeah, that's the other thing. We only have like 3 companions because the other one's kind of retired. we
Only 3. Wow.
well,
Well,
it's
it's
still
30%.
yeah,
It's a
but
30%
I mean,
increase.
yeah, but
to be
to make it so stuff can go better in our favors, we really do need to recruit more.
Yeah, well, for the Inquisition, for the job with the Inquisition, it's a 55% chance of success.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, even like increasing it by 30, I'd still be like, I'd rather handle that
Well,
shit.
40 if you send out your lackeys.
Still. Even by that, it's like, 80%.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. We can actually send Junior off to where the cave is with the others because
But the thing
we
is,
could be
yeah.
because
I
we
mean,
can send our lackeys.
What about sending the lackeys to the mountains and us staying in the city?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I
I kind of want
I
to secure
believe-
the artifact.
Yeah, I too. Also, it's one of those things where Ratchet really does want to stick with Junior because it's like like after what happened to Mr. and Mrs. Blackhammer, like them getting hurt when he wasn't around, he's being this time going to be vigilant and make sure protecting and everything. I'll be right back. I gotta grab food.
And I'm literally cooking it right now. I'm sorry, guys.
you're fine.
Oh, it's fine.
So what was the rolls on the rest of the rolls? Shauna's 28 and my
Yeah.
crit.
What was my 18,
So-
by the way?
Yeah, I was getting to Solithis, but let's just continue. Solithis, you act.
Alright.
Shut up.
Okay.
That? Huh.
It's you actually.
A few.
Okay. You shut
Hello,
up
sorry.
instantly.
Yeah, sorry. So you do know some people who claim to have joined the Inquisition, the Huntsman branch of the Inquisition. Effectively, the only thing that they claim to be allowed to tell you is that they generally are sent overseas and go on daring missions of unknown importance to serve their god of choice, and it's separated by almost like cults. different sects of the Huntsman organization are separated by ideologies and subsected by, or separated by churches, which are then further which each individual group are subsects of a specific faith. So there are hundreds, according to them, hundreds if not thousands of inquisitorial groups, huntsman groups that exist under the Irani Union. But that's only their claims. Many of them also have claimed to slept with many beautiful men and women, so it's kind of
Allegedly.
unbelievable. Yeah, allegedly. Keep that. Their information is sketchy, to say the least. Many of them have even claimed to actually have met god, dark gods and dark beings. But again, sketchy knowledge. There's really no confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to be fair, in the world we live in, it's not impossible.
Yeah, true. Though it's kind of hard to believe meeting a dark god. Like, come on. It's gods exist. Dark gods. Asmodeus is the closest people have to a dark god, and his church literally gives sermons every single Tuesday.
Do a patron count as a dark god?
Asmodeus is considered a dark god, and his churches give sermons every Tuesday.
Yo, Tuesday.
Yeah, because no other deity wants to claim it. It's free real estate.
Wait, is that
No, it's
actually
like
it?
having a. Yeah,
No,
here's
that's
the thing.
actually a
It's
thing.
like having a
Holy
party
shit.
on a Tuesday. You just don't do it.
A
Yeah,
party on a
they
Tuesday. A party on Tuesday is just cursed. You don't do that.
Oh, I see how it is.
On
Okay.
Monday.
Jesus Christ.
How
Anyways.
does the game change, guys?
No.
It's like a 21st on a Monday.
Oh god, yeah. Anyways, so basically, yeah, they've got their hands in a lot of places. Suffice to say, yeah, that's the information you know. The meaning dark gods, kind of meh. We already have a dark god. It's Asmodeus, and they have sermons every Tuesday. Anyways, moving on. Ashana, you actually know a bit more about them. Actually, because you are in the library you were raised in and where you learned, they effectively are separated into almost like cults, different ideologies, under different gods, and sometimes under different, and in fact, actually, not just gods, but actual otherworldly beings, like angels, fae, fiends, devils. And according to the journal that you read, there are actually a very small handful of demon cults under cult groups under the Huntsman organization. And even beings of other powers that, frankly, are kind of beyond current comprehension, such as elder gods and other such abominations. That being said, they're relatively civil as can be. They have relatively frequent, how do I put this? Bloody revolutions, where different groups like sort of fight and to kill each other. Actually, physically kill each other, and they have very little to no oversight.
Hell yeah.
Rosewinter, you actually know of them because you got your captain. Your first captain was one in his previous life before he became a pirate. The only thing he was willing to tell you regarding what he did was that he did a lot of things he was not proud of. His time there, he felt nothing but shame and regret for everything he had done. He's claimed to have killed infants, children, people of all ages, all creeds, all races. all for just to protect and just all for the status quo and all just to serve a country that, frankly, if he were to die, would not even remember him. He was very bitter about that. He claims to have met beings beyond standard mortal comprehension. He's made deals with demons. He's had wars with devils. He's spilled wine on the shirts of fey kings. He's done a lot of things, and he's claimed to have done a lot of good, but he's claimed to have also done a lot of evil. And the information he told you regarding the Inquisition, the inquisitorial huntsmen, is that they're basically like a bunch of children. They all join up in their own little cliques. If you agree with an ideology, you're better off joining someone else. You never want to stick alone. You want to find someone there if you're going to join the huntsmen, though you shouldn't join them at all. You're better off as a guardsman. They're at least more straightforward with what they do. They have some oversight, but they're separated by cults of under different gods representing different sects. Blood magic is allowed under a select handful of cults. Necromancy is allowed in some good aligned deities that you would never even expect, specifically necromancy involving the creation of undead. There are even some whispers of a cult that is capable of tearing apart the flesh of people and wearing it as if it were your own flesh through the means of making a pact with something else, with an abomination. When you ask about what an abomination is, he refused to. He just gaslit you. He never told you. You could get a sense that it was probably nothing very good. The only thing he told you about them was that they're always hungry. And they'll only know peace if there's nothing left to eat, including us.
So very powerful humanoids that deal with extraplanar beings that are beyond our comprehension.
And also have very little to no oversight, and are basically just almost always at war with each other.
So if we would, from what I remember about these guys, my previous captain I served under.
Do you want to tell him that your captain was a huntsman?
What would happen? I mean, this was like 20, 30 years ago.
From what he's told you, they'll put you under lock and key, and if you don't tell them what they want to hear, they'll forget about the key. You'll be locked up in some sort of castle in the middle of the forest, starving yourself to death. At best. At worst, they'll ward the place up to starve you for eternity, never being able to eat a single meal. But still never dying. The Inquisition is brutal, especially the huntsman.
Could you use it to preserve someone for a while?
Think CIA. Or no, not CIA. Think CIA and the KGB and the MI6 had a baby. And then throw in a shitload of divine magic, heresy, and normal arcane magic.
A little bit of Oni in there.
Oh, yeah, and a little bit of Oni. Oh, actually, no, more KGB in that case. they've done a lot worse stuff. But anyways,
We do not know
yeah.
him.
So yeah, basically that.
Huh.
I can relate if you want.
So honestly, better off keeping that private. You
Yeah,
just
it's fair.
say you heard it from
From
some stories, but
from
And
what
so
I
minor
from what
DC.
I've heard from what I've heard in my travels, these guys know what they're doing. If we were to send our compatriots with them, I have a feeling it would be it'd be well secured.
I believe so as well. From the libraries I grew up in, I've read that they follow not only those, but they follow otherworldly beings. They are very powerful, and I believe they are available to protect ours.
I've heard stories passed from sailor to sailor that these people deal with deal with very powerful beings.
the captain says, from what I heard, they don't make deals with demons.
Well, they make deals as they make deals with almost everybody, even people beyond mortal comprehension of other
Beings
worlds.
that beings that are constantly at war with each other. Beings that don't give a rat's ass about you and I.
The ranger actually stays quiet on this for a few moments before as you finish saying that. I'm starting to understand why you brought me here. The captain says, "Yeah, you think?"
I have these people know what they're doing. If they're sent to protect the artifact, then they're there for just reason. I have a strong feeling that if we were to set, like I said, if we were to send our compatriots, even our new allies, uh, we would be able to mount an assault, mount a ambush in the town.
And Junior chimes in. I know my dad's mind, at least and the area around the dad's mines. I used to, you know, play out in the forest and stuff. And the druids would always, because of the deal they made with my dad, they'd always keep watch over me. I've got a good repertoire, and I can probably make some beast of some use there. I mean, if he sort of gestures towards all of you, including you, Ratchet, if my friend here would be okay with it.
What I recommend is covering our bases. As I have other compatriots, they're more suited to more mountainy areas. So I believe they would be more efficient over there, and we can protect the city. Have our bases covered.
I
I
don't think we should
might
not be at the artifact. As capable as our compatriots are, I would rather there be more
Well,
there.
here's the thing. Knowing us would likely do more harm than good. Just being there.
We are more of an urban outfit, not a.
Says you.
As much as I hate to admit it, Alistair does bring up a good point. We're more the urban types.
No,
I
Haven't we fought mostly outdoors in caves?
We have.
Yeah.
but
We're not urban commandos. We are adventurers.
Well, you say that, but Xeris admittedly has mostly had experience fighting indoors.
Yeah,
I mean, if he had more experience fighting on mountains, you would not have found him in the manner that you did.
I'm
Um,
Rosewinter and Sasha. They're criminals. They're used to being in the midst of urban environment. They understand the urban battlefield. Hell,
also,
give me enough time, and I could probably scrape together some more CD help.
yeah, I'm not saying that we aren't proficient in rural areas. We have traveled through them. I'm just saying that the majority of us have a more rural, more urban. We are more we are more appropriate within cities.
I'd like
The
to.
ranger chimes in. So you want me to go out on the mountain? No, the which captain says, no, no, I want you to stay here. I mean, I know your guys don't like staying in the city. He's like, brush it off. I know that you want me to go to the mountains. He just stares at him. Captain stares at the ranger for a moment. Look, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not get, we're not back in the house while I shoot my slingshot, knocking down a few bottles while you're out playing horseshoes and pirates, okay? I can take care of myself.
The
And I'm
boy
still a
seems
good shot.
capable.
I'm still a better shot than you. And he says, you watch your fucking mouth. I'm still a better shot than any to which uh,
Children,
Father
if you don't.
Tyrants. The father just says, "Oh, come on, guys, just stop. This has been going on for too long. It's kind of embarrassing."
The boy seems capable.
Yeah. Then again, so did I. Then I got cocky,
Yes, look.
and now most of my old team is dead.
Overconfidence is
The
slowly steals the
captain
show.
gestures towards Eris, and he says, "Here's the thing. I know the wildlands, and the wildlands know me. I can scrape up a good band of 30, maybe 40 huntsmen, 40 rangers and druids, a mix of both. And I could split them up here and there. Just
That'd
trust
be
me
a
on
good
this. I
idea.
know the place."
I'll give the boy the benefit of the doubt.
Plus, I'm a ranger for crying out loud. Who else are you gonna
Give him a
trust
hint
out in
of
the
confidence.
wildlands? A master of ambushes and tomfoolery. You you're good here. Let me do what I'm best at, and I'll let you do what you're best at. Captain just stands there for a moment. Fine, just get back here safe. I don't want to end up having to tell your wife that you end up dying out in the forest. And just, oh, trust me, she would have an absolute fit. Hurricane Nubia would be all over the place. But just and the seer, the oracle says, if it would make you more comfortable, I can travel with him. That'd be great. Thank you. And Father Tyrannus chimes in and says, "I'll stay here. The community needs some comfort. And who else than the good old me?"
Please tell me they're all looking at each other, very
They're
unsure.
all just staring at him. They all just stare at him. Oh, why? I've
Like
mellowed out in
anyone.
my older age. Come on, give me a little bit
Do
of
they look
benefit of the
harder?
doubt. They
Do
look
they look at
harder,
him
yeah.
harder?
Oh, come on, that was a one. Okay, the guy who glassed me in the face, he was asking for it. Okay, he glassed me. It's not my fault that he was that all that was left of him was ash. It was self-defense. They just stare harder. Okay, fine. If you want, I can go. I'll need to bring some priests and ill riggers, but it's doable.
I think at that point everyone is looking at him.
No, the guy, the three other guy people just relax
Are
a
you
bit.
syndicate?
No, this is actually they appear to be more relaxed when they mention ill riggers.
What's an ill rigger?
Does Alistair ask that?
Yes.
The opposite of a paladin. Someone who serves devils.
Oh.
Huh. All
They're
right.
Someone like
paladins.
me, kind of, sort of.
No. Here's the thing. Warlocks, they're good and all, but ill riggers generally better when it comes to keeping morale up by force if need be.
So,
They're paladins who are ill riggers, but not as good as normal ill riggers. But anyways, moving on.
I'm actually surprised that they're allowed it within 100 yards of the city.
They're allowed. They're allowed wherever Asmodeus is allowed. They're part of a package. Anyways, excuse me. Anyways, moving on.
uh, so what's the group's consensus? Like, go after the artifact or stay here in the town and try to defend it from a possible attack? And try to set a trap, I think was, right?
It's in the consensus, but split up.
I'm if we want to head to the mine, I'm all for it. But I'd much rather prefer in the city.
Same.
I prefer securing the artifact, so.
I'm in between.
All right.
So that's 3 for the town so far, right?
Yeah. Oh, two for the town. Sean is neutral, or Yang is neutral. Solthus wants to go out to the mountain, to the mines. Riker, what is Xerxes' vote for?
I was one of the three
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
for the town.
Then, yeah. So it's three for one. And unless you want to add in your vote for the mountain, because you do have a stake there, there'd be no reason not to vote for it.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to that mountain range because it seems like the artifact could be potentially really deadly if it falls in
Yeah.
the wrong hands.
The artifact, it's gonna be more than just the city.
Yeah, it's gonna be literally the continent
Yeah.
or more.
It's gonna be all Apache.
Yeah, it could be a big problem. So it looks like the vote though goes to the staying here in the city and combing the local guards, see if any of them are intentionally or unintentionally for about leaking information to this branch to Carabrum's or Carbium? Yeah, Carbium's group of Ironhides.
Yeah.
He looks at the other two, and he looks very apologetic. I'm sorry, but my family are here. If anything happened to them, I would.
I understand it.
And besides, it's and with me, well, like I said, chances are we'd likely do more harm than we would do good.
And you also your parents also live here too.
I lived in Perrin.
All right.
That's right.
So,
They're currently visiting from Perrin.
so what's the plan? Us stay in the city and then send all the companions to help out in getting the artifact.
Companions and the Mr.
Lackeys.
Boom Boom.
All right. So
I don't.
Ratchet would be going with Junior and Chooser then.
I don't. My big problem is I don't trust the assassin. He's. I 100% do not trust that he's going to make. Uh, he's probably going to be suicidal. He wants to die.
Yeah, but if you send Mr. Boom with him, he'll actively work to make sure he doesn't die.
Yeah,
But
but
that'll make him want to
would
die
protect
more.
him.
They're
It'll make him
kind
want
of
to
a
die more,
pair.
though.
Andrew.
It kind of cancels itself out.
Yeah.
Answer.
Okay. So they have to
Uh,
be together.
if you want to prevent Mr. Assassin from killing himself, then yes.
Hey, Answer, will my borrowed side bring any more? Bring the um, percentage up?
With who?
My borrowed side?
Your borrowed site? It could. I'd say it increases by a good 5%, making that, if I'm
So
doing my math right, a 45% increase, which is
on top,
basically a 100% chance of success.
there's still
Do I
that
use my borrowed
5%.
side?
Yeah.
If
Here's the thing. Like I said, if it's sending off all the comedians, and that includes Sutu and Junior, Ratchet would go with. Because, he's protected by you.
Suture will make it clear that she'll focus on Junior's safety if you desire for her to travel with him.
I mean, the two of them together, they're a pretty powerful team.
Yeah, but
And you're
this.
also forgetting Augustus, he's got some history with banditry, so he as Rosewinter would know firsthand, since she almost fell to his blade at one point.
So would my borrowed side bring up the percentage?
It increases by 5%, making
To
making the total increase to 45%. And if I'm doing my math right, 45 plus 55 is 100. So a 100 guaranteed success.
Mhm.
I mean, hey, that's great. We don't we don't need to be there.
I just need a space where I can focus in.
Yeah, you have to also choose one of the your compatriots.
I have to choose a single compatriot and find a serene spot where I can concentrate on it.
Yeah. They're all good
Speaking of,
candidates. Yeah.
speaking of which, Alex,
Yeah.
or actor, Alistair looks at him like, if you want, I can put my squire as his bodyguard if you want.
This isn't a matter of, providing protection. This is a personal matter. Because last time I left someone that I was actually destined to protect and got hurt. Mr. and Mrs. Blackhammer. Because I wasn't around, they got hurt. And they had a literal house warded to protect them. Junior doesn't have that. I will. I don't want that to happen again. Now, not if I can actually do something about it.
I mean,
Physically.
I'm gonna be surrounded by huntsmen, guardsmen, dozens of huntsmen, hundreds of guardsmen, a lot of guardsmen,
Also,
and
huntsman.
some of the strongest fighters I personally know. I'm thinking, I I think it could be safe. But if you say so, bro.
I personally just feel better being physically there.
Well, you can be there if you wish to be there. Use my I'll use my innate powder and keep watch.
If I were to provide them, if I were to provide them with a help with some poisons, uh, would that poison? How illegal are poisons?
Depends. Rat poisons for rats and general pests, completely fine.
What about purple
Paralytic
worms?
poisons, anything beyond that for people, that's a problem. That's an actual problem.
I'm going to whisper to Ratchet and Junior. Listen, I have some specialty things in my shop. If you that can help Junior if you so choose. With a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Because there's guards right in front of us.
Yeah, they're currently they're more currently like disputing with each other. Like, okay, how many of our units, how many of our men and women are we going to send to each assignment?
Yeah.
Basically.
Listen, she'll talk with Ratchet. Listen, I understand you want to protect him, but like me with Sasha, we're family. We're together. But even I have sent her on missions alone. Uh, like my captain, so my previous captain so crudely said, sometimes the umbilical cord has to be severed.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Last time I heard that Mr. Blackhammer got hurt, it nearly broke me. Now knowing that I'm actually related could permanently break me. And I do mean physically and mentally. For good. I, it's like, it's also,
I
I want to protect them myself. Because I don't think I can handle the fact of losing family, knowing the fact that they are family.
I
Alistair just gets up and he hugs Ratchet.
And there's so Solithus, you're probably looking at Darius, right?
Yeah? What?
He just gets this fucking deadpan expression and just with an almost eerie calmness to him, just kind of calmly gets up and walks out of the fucking room after just this kind of just sigh of just.
Yeah, for real fall.
Yeah, above game, this is just like I gotta play Ratchet, and like after everything you experience, this would make the most sense.
Yeah, it makes
Alice,
sense.
yeah, Junior
And
will just say,
Because you're doing good.
look, how about this? Okay? How about I whip up something? If I whip up something by tomorrow, that'll allow you to be there if I'm in any super serious trouble. Will you let me do this thing with,
I
Stitcher
mean,
and folks?
Uh,
I
above
mean,
game, we're
you
talking
can.
about like emergency teleportation, like I zap from one place to another.
I mean, you can
Mm,
always go
kind
there.
of.
You can always go there yourself and do it after game.
And if you really want to, I can select Junior to be the one that I'm focusing on.
Above game, I'm just thinking if Ratchet would accept the compromise of just being a little like if Ratchet could literally be summoned at an instant if he can't go there physically because
Or
you're
more along the lines of an oh shit button for him to get into safety. Or get to safety.
Yeah, sort of
yeah.
yeah, an emergency teleportation.
Um,
Okay.
well, there's also a fact of like wanting to also protect Sutra at the same time too, protecting two people.
They
Guys,
can they can try to protect themselves. And you also have Augustus, the mysterious steel magic witch bladesman.
above game, I get you guys are trying to like get me to stick to a group, but this is like I gotta play
No, I'm
Ratchet.
not saying you have to
It's
stick with the group. Because I said go ahead because I'm gonna give my bard sight. That's what I say.
um. Let me think about it for a bit while I put a dish in the sink. I'll be right back.
All right. So they're kind of like still discussing like battle plans essentially.
Just discussions after discussions.
Yeah. So does anyone want to chime into them and inform them of certain decisions, or
No.
Sarah's just legitimately walked out of the fucking room. So
yeah.
Alistair would follow Saris.
Shauna pretty much saying that she's gonna give her psionic ability over and assist.
All right. So which one of the compatriots would you like to bind to, or bind with?
Which of the compatriots would fare the best?
Gret Gret would certainly could make use of it. Though he's not exactly a mage, so he's not technically a mage. He's only able to cast cantrips, and it's not even through his own volition, it's through objects.
Mm-hmm.
Augustus would definitely be a worthy candidate, but his curse might have side effects on your own psyche.
Uh-huh.
Suteru is probably the safest bet, though there's not a lot. Though hers is a lot more simple.
Yeah, it's like I won't get the there won't be like the thought interference or anything.
Yeah, it's more bare bones with Suteru.
Mm-hmm.
Grit has some stuff that he can do, but he's a lot more bare bones, but certainly safer. A safer choice. Augustus is like possibly the most rewarding, but he's very high. He's also high risk.
Yeah, it's high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
High risk, high reward, really safe, or middle ground.
I'll go with Sutoru.
Alright. Suture it is. Alright.
I would explain to Sutoru as I find just like a nice green place is bond with her, and then there we go.
So, evident.
Alright, so shot.
Eddie?
Oh yeah, sorry. So Shauna's gonna be binding with Suteru.
I'm gonna. They all use like blade weapons, right?
Not Junior.
Yeah, well,
He
Junior
uses a hammer.
Yeah.
No, his warhammer. He's using his long knife.
So I will give Augustus a vial of concentrated paralysis poison.
Dishonorable. Nice.
Every advantage hit. If you want more, come by my shop later.
All right, I'll do so.
I have 2 left. And I still have like 8 jars of pufferfish. They're all getting fed and change the water.
All right. And for everyone else, what is the vote? What is the decision regarding letting Junior go to the mission?
It's really up to Ratchet.
Yeah, Ratchet, what is your vote?
I think, with Ashana's help, it's a 100%. If Junior's not there, it's a 90%. If I were to give poisons, would that also increase the chance of success? because we got to think of this logically.
No,
Because
bring that.
I can give well, I have plenty of poisons to give.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So above the game, with it being 100%, it's no one's gonna die.
Yeah, it's
No one's gonna
Guaranteed,
die. At
guaranteed.
the very worst, someone's gonna like have
Yeah,
some minor injury that'll be healed by the time they get back.
also,
Absolutely abysmal.
we're still
Like
getting hit.
someone's probably gonna like lose a finger. Absolutely abysmal.
Like, at
As
worst, they're gonna get like a paper cut on their sword.
like rolling a percentage dice, rolling a nat one, someone
Oh no,
loses
not
a
one would
finger.
be a critical success.
Okay,
Yeah,
a
you.
nat one.
Lower better.
Lower
It's
better, yes.
I forget that you
It's
do that in
percentile.
reverse.
Percentile dices fuck my brain up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
yeah,
Say
Very same.
The
say you
percentage
roll
chance where you
up.
have to roll at or under to succeed.
Yes. So say you got 100. Someone's going to lose a finger and suffer for some mental damage.
take some
Probably,
psychic damage.
probably like at most some short-term madness, and
Yeah.
probably not even
Or like a disease like a mummy's rot that can easily be taken care of by the staff on hand.
Yeah.
exactly.
And just
Like
good
I
luck.
like. Don't get me wrong. I always say it's my character's flaw, and it would be a major hypocrite if I didn't let other people have their character flaws.
I'm sensing a butt.
What?
Alright, that's fine.
Where's the butt?
Yeah. Either way, so the decision is. So what's the decision?
Uh, Personally, yeah, Ratchet would probably let him go, but it'd still be adamant about wanting to go with. Just not only to protect him and Suitor at the same time, but just for the fact of a chance to see the mind that he's never got the chance to see. Because he was built 5 years ago,
Yeah.
so he wouldn't have. It probably been where he started. It wouldn't have probably ever saw it.
And
Relatively
maybe
speaking.
Yeah, and there's Sean will also let you know that she's bonded with Sutherland, so
Yeah.
she'll give you the extra heads up.
Yeah. I heard that, but it's just like it's also this is like
I
Ratchet being a little bit stubborn and just stupidly protective just after what happened and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's fair. It's a legitimate character flaw. Uh,
Well, the decision appears to be made.
hmm.
So in regards to this, the entire roster of compatriots and all of your lackeys are going to go on the job with a good number of boons and bonuses. All right, I will inform you of what happens. Well, at the end of this assignment, as as by the time your group comes to the conclusion. Meanwhile, actually, while that is happening, Zerus and Alistair, you both are currently outside,
And Solphus.
Yeah.
and Stelthus, yeah, the three of you are outside.
What's up, dude?
What? My last team was like family to me. And Alistair. Now, if you recall, if I'm recalling correctly, I believe we did establish that Alistair does know the significance of the singular dagger that Xeris has.
He does.
Well, he pulls it out, turns around to Solithus, and mind you, I would like to note he's not really trying to hide the engravings on it or anything like that. He's fucking not. So,
I forget what the engravings are.
I've actually got it written down. Let me scroll down a bit of a ways here.
No better one time.
Yeah, it's fine, dude. Here it is. So I'm gonna just post the engravings into the Roll20 chat here, because, yeah. And that is in Elvish, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if I have Elvish. I don't
Wow,
have
does
Elvish.
not.
Holy
Wow,
shit.
Arcane Caster doesn't know Elvish.
Wow.
Absolute 100,000
I have
Elven
most
kicks.
everything else. I got Gnomish.
You have Gnomish
I
instead of
don't have
Elvish.
Sylvan. Fuck.
I see you're a hip.
Yes, I'll take Gnomish over Elvish.
I knew Elvish before it was cool. Now that all mages know it, I just completely
I'm
forgot
playing
about it and
against
learned Gnomish.
stereotype.
It's way
I think I
better.
just glossed
Far more
over
use
it.
of consonants.
I think I
It's
just
I'm
glossed
fun.
over it.
I'm just being a shite.
I'm playing against stereotype.
Either way, so what does the dagger
Languages.
engraving say?
So, as stated in the Roll20 chat there, for all the hope you gave me, I give you this blade. May it protect you as it protected me. Or, excuse me, as you protected me. Now, as Alistair would know, this blade, well, Zarissa got it for him just before they got to the college. As a bit of a celebratory thing to kind of celebrate the fact that, hey, we got into the fucking War Mage College. Yo, pog.
Oh god. Continue.
Pog.
But yeah, obviously they didn't state pog itself, but the point being that it was a celebration, things were nice, but fast forward about, I'd say give it a couple more, uh, fast forward up until they had a few missions on their own under their belt, and well,
Shit
that was
hit the
kind of the
fan.
yeah, shit hit the fan pretty much.
Welcome to not before I wasn't even in Nom.
No, this is his Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that being said, he then looks at it for a bit and actively states, "I've never once drawn this blade, at least not in combat anyway." I was honestly too afraid. I suppose, in a way, seeing the same kind of fear for myself has opened my eyes. So knowing that, tell me, Saltus, do you know what this says?
Give me a minute and I could.
Hmm, fair enough. Comprehend the languages?
No, yes.
Hmm, yeah, that'd do it. Yeah, so Zerus will give him the time.
Just recall caster real quick.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mhm.
So
I can only assume who this is referring to. Hello? Okay, I don't know if that came through.
Yeah,
We can hear you.
yeah, I heard you, but
Thing is that, as much as I hate to say it, and you know how much I really hate to say it, I get Ratchet.
as do I.
Oh, do you think we don't?
I get why he's doing it, but that doesn't mean the fear isn't what's the word?
Founded.
Uncalled for.
Well, no, it is very much called for, but at the same time, one can
And
only
that's because
grow. One can only grow if put into dangerous situations. They can only grow as a person if, well, something is on the line, be it money or power or fame or hell, even their life.
Usually life is a... Dying is a very, very good motivator.
Indeed.
which is why I put my life on the line every day. I
Indeed.
can protect my family, so I could protect Ashana, so I can protect the both of you.
And with that, tell me, Alistair,
Hmm.
if you were to say, if someone were to say, uh, take a model such as yourself, and let's say they were to remove all the remove all the situations where you risk your very life, what would they have? Out of genuine curiosity, what would they be left with?
They would have nothing.
Yeah.
I think I should explain to your brother. I died.
Oh,
I straight up died. As he,
thought I heard.
un, as he lifts up his shirt to show a large scar across his heart.
Roll
He pulls,
medicine, Solithus.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
pretty okay at those. That's a solid
I
10. I'm gonna re-roll it. 12.
That
Gosh.
looks like a great sword strike directly into the heart.
Well, how did that happen?
mouse.
Uh,
I should be in the ground next to my compatriot.
Yes.
Starts to shake. And you smell burning flesh. In fact, I think everyone smells burning flesh.
Meanwhile, inside, the Asmodean priest is like, "Oh, I thought you got rid of witch burnings." He's like, what? No, I think it's a barbecue. He's like, sorry, I get the two mixed up a good bit. The ranger just raises his hand as if about to say something. And the captain says, "No." He says, "What?" And the captain says, "No. What's the difference?"
Someone
As
like off screen just throws a brick at him.
Nah,
Yes,
no,
there's
the priest just tosses a handkerchief at him.
no. I'm much more of like it's a scene from freaking Fresh Prince of Bel Air where Jazz gets thrown out of the fucking building. Just ah.
Yes.
Uh,
Look,
can I just
and
can I just cryptogram him this?
cryptogram this. Go
Just
ahead.
that.
That's fine.
Just that. That's
I'll
it.
allow it. Greater,
Oh, god damn
less
it.
than, was it
Semicolon.
apostrophe?
Opening parentheses.
Semicolon and opening parentheses.
That's
But anyways, moving on. Sorry.
But I think I'd freak out. I think Alistair would freak out a few of the citizens and a few paladins because
Yeah.
his hair is starting to light on fire.
Yeah. There are actually some guards who are currently have their shields and weapons drawn, or at the
Um,
very least.
as as I lay dying, I heard a voice. Do you wish to avenge them? Every part of me said, "Do not listen to this voice." But before I could think, I said yes. Because they were like families. They died so I can. He starts to shake horribly. I'm sorry, I'm
There's
acting like a stereotypical warlock. Sorry, guys.
Oh no, it's fine. The story,
Hmm.
it's one that provides some context. As for me, well, I honestly shouldn't be alive in the first place, but thanks to my thanks to my one of my outbursts, I am. Had it not been for that, I doubt that I would even be alive to tell the tale. Hell, I doubt Zarissa would even have survived.
Hmm. Yes. Barbaric region and relenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
It more along the lines of the I wouldn't necessarily call it barbaric rage, let's say. More of a magically induced rage.
Hmm. How did that even happen? How did you
Well,
do that?
uh, my theory is that my theory from my time being trained by the headmaster is that perhaps I just have far too much magical power to, well, contain and contain within me.
Hmm.
And whenever I snap, all of it tends to come out at once.
I presume that's from the sorcerer's bit.
Yeah. That, yes, actually. Thanks thanks to it, I was able to I guess you could say I was able to hone it a bit better. Hmm. I wonder if I'll be able to do more with it if I'm able to hone it more.
Perhaps, but
Might be worth looking into at some point.
possibly.
That said, if I'm being honest, then then I'm not going. Well, all right. So I've always honestly had the fear that my team would all be wiped out before my very eyes, and lo and behold, look what happened. However, it wasn't all of them, thankfully.
There is still the one we know of.
Well, exactly, but there's also the potential for another that I would simply be stupid to deny, as that one wasn't very fond of me, to say the least, and I also wouldn't put it past them to, well, be so petty as to kill one of us as to just kill the other one that just wasn't involved and just go from there.
I
Stab me in the
believe
back, as it were.
That's possible.
back when me and him were traveling together, we became a lot like brothers as he smacks Sarith's arm.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, no, he's right.
I'm a
We
better man.
did. But at the same time, sometimes caution in and of itself is, well, it's more, it will be more of a hindrance than to be of any service.
Worrying about it.
Exactly. Sometimes it's best not to worry about something, because the moment you start worrying about something that isn't exactly life-threatening to yourself, then that could be it.
Or
And
something outside
let's
of one's
face it,
control.
yes, exactly. Something out of your control. And here's the thing, if if June is going to get hurt, he's going to get hurt. There's not a damn thing we can do about it. Fate is going to fate is eventually going to right itself and catch up eventually. The tapestry will eventually be healed.
I forgot about that.
And and whether or not he gets hurt will, well, we're not going to be able to do a damn thing about it. Then but as far as I'm aware, I don't believe any of us are included in the tapestry that remains, at the very least.
That's reassuring?
You
I'm
could
not sure if
probably
that's reassuring
assume
or
none of your
not.
bloodline will either.
Oh, shit.
You could probably assume.
Yes, considering the fact that you yourself have actually joined us, and, well, quite frankly, things have also happened on your end, I can safely assume that no one among our family is bound by fate anymore.
Still not sure how to feel about that.
Neither am I, to be honest, but the decision was ultimately out of my hands. Because there wasn't going to be a damn thing that I could do to stop Ratchet from doing, well, what he did, let's say. I'm not going to go over it again because, oh god, that's a headache in and of itself.
Hmm. So how do we start with this whole thing? Do you have any ideas or?
Well, I think that if we're going to, I think that if we're going to find I think that if we're going to find Grull in the city, then the best places to look would be the places that would not really house very many gods, and that would also provide some certain advantages to actually to the folks who would actually reside there for the time being, as it were.
Actually, I think we should have this as a group now. Think about it. Unless there's anything else you have to discuss.
Yeah, but all that having been said, you were right about one thing. She gave me this dagger, and with that, he stows away the dagger and heads back in.
Alright. As your eventually the plans for the local law enforcement are made, and your group have also been made. You're eventually let free. Let's see here.
How long were we in that meeting for?
In total, not including your time to, finding the area, finding the room, and
Chatting.
also
Fair.
in character, chatting and conversing as to who to send and stuff like that. About like 4 hours.
All right. Alistair just
They
gets
even
up.
bring they even request for some beverages to be brought in. Mostly just tea, though. They don't bring alcohol. They're not allowed to in a court of law. Clouds the mind. So, yeah.
I like the shit out of tea.
Okay, I'm going to be kind of a dick. Alistair sneaks a bottle of his Eldritch. You know his flask of Eldritch liquor.
I
that
know. I'm
never
aware of
runs
that.
out.
I'm aware of that. Make a con
He
save.
sneaks it over. No, he sneaks it over to the priest of Asmodeus.
All right. Let's see here. What do I have for stats? Okay.
Uh,
Basic fiend warlock. No, actually, that's his stats. He's actually just a fiend warlock.
Excellent.
Excellent.
It's absolutely wonderful. Let's see here.
Are you a warlock or of the trickery domain?
Where's the? There we go.
Please tell me everyone is looking at him like, no, what are you doing?
He's going to down the entire cup. As he ordered a entire mug of.
Of what?
11. He's
Oh, no.
he's red in the nose. If he wasn't already a red scale. He starts then going off into like, damn, why don't they fucking little tiefling into the fucking government? Oh, women are so fucking god cute. Like, oh,
Can I cast silence on him?
Just be like, let's protect
I'm just
this
gonna-
man.
no, the oracle beats you to it. The oracle
Damn
beats you
it.
to it. He just yeah.
Like, just pull out my tongue.
He goes in. He goes in. He's
Hold on. The Eldritch liquor makes him speak in primordial.
yeah. He's like saying this in primordial, and he's like gesturing towards the mammillary glands
Goddamn.
and badonkadonks and rear ends.
Since
Just
me and
ca-
Sasha,
Just cast
I got
silence
a
and-
minor illusion, just a curtain around him.
That's fine.
just-
since me and Sasha both understand primordial, What
I'd
is
say perception to see if you can see it before he casts the illusion, or what you get first.
Psychologically first. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Yay.
So yeah, perception.
It is in the ether.
It's
All
making
right,
its way through.
making its
Anytime
way
now.
downtown, going fast.
There we go.
Something, something, and I'm homebound.
Why is it?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, I rolled invest by
No, it's
mistake.
investigation to see through the illusion.
Investigation,
Yeah.
investigation, or yeah, to look through the illusion and perception.
Oh, and perception.
And perception, yes. Yes. Yes.
It's faint.
Basically, he goes about his opinion of the wonders of tiefling women. Tails,
Jesus Christ.
there's some that have them. You like hooves? There's some that have them. Like those that with some exoskeleton on them, they have them. Big titties, small titties, etc., etc. He goes into a whole fucking rant. He appears to really like tiefling women.
She says in primordial, fucking tieflingaboos.
Socially acceptable because he's an Asmodeus priest, but like, come on, this is unprofessional.
Which is unprofessional in the workplace.
And he says like, and the males are all right. He just says all right. He's not as he goes like, I'm not into the men. Women though, ooh, Asmodeus' gift on this unholy earth. Effectively. Yeah, he just goes like basically in a nutshell, tieflings are Asmodeus' gift to this unworthy earth,
Alistair
or
just
to this
smiled.
unworldly world.
Thank you. Alistair just says in primordial, thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
oh.
You cut out hard
Yeah.
for
Oh yeah,
me.
sorry. He says, yeah. See, he gets it. Wait, why you understand me? Am I a Dragagung? As
I assume at that point
he
slams his
just
face first.
he slams his face, or his head bounces, and he just falls from the chair on the wall, like in the chair onto his back.
Just bounce, slam.
I was like, wow!
I am proud of my.
Gentlemen.
Alistair just says out loud as he's patting his flask, and I am proud of myself.
The captain will just say that, well, he doesn't condone it. Good on you. This is an entertaining thing to see this side of him because, yeah, the Oracle just doesn't like the entire thing. She finds it unprofessional, but yeah,
I think the best way to describe him is the diversity hire.
I mean, technically, no. There's plenty of Dragonborn that live in the Irani Union. There's like the Irani Union, most is a good chunk of it is Dragonborn
For
because
the
tropical
Asmodean.
environment. But Asmodean clergy, yeah, you kind of have to. Gonna let in all the other guys. You know that meme of Sesame Street meme where there's like a Big Bird, Elmo, and Bernie, the other fucking
Bert?
Bert. Yes, Bert.
Bert?
They're all like in a canoe and they're rowing. One of them says, don't look at insert name here." We're getting close to insert hit name here or whatever the fuck it was. Don't look at him. Which person, the character responding, says something, and then he's the next panel over. He's on the boat, and everyone's just sad. Basically him, but he's enjoying. Basically him, but he's enjoying the entire trip.
The only what you call it? The only Sesame Street meme I know of. It was where Bert and Ernie are based fascists that hate minorities and Jews.
Well, I mean, okay, first off, I'm aware of that meme. Second off, interesting
That's an
choice.
old meme.
That's a very
That's an
old
old
meme.
meme.
Very old.
It's
Pretty
one of
old
my
internet
favorites.
stuff. But yeah, you might want to take a look at it. There's like one with Hitler, one with fuck, what was it? Stalin. Basically, some like historically morally questionable characters.
Morally questionable.
Yeah,
Morally questionable.
but yeah,
Huh.
you
That
guys
means
are like there for
something
4 hours, but you're eventually let out. They do have to like fill it. They have to have you like sign your names and shit to confirm that you were there and that you entered of your own volition and that you're not currently being possessed by demons. Where you see, like actually, you actually kind of see like one guy like hover the quill over it as one of them says, as one of the guards screams, "He's possessed! Get him!" As a person tackles him and he starts like basically sort of stereotypical, poltergeist shit. Before they eventually just knock him out with a single punch from one of the paladins.
Thing is, like for anyone who's out of towners, I think Cirrus and Alistair are like, yeah, that happens.
I mean, hey,
No,
So
fam, you're right.
how you doing?
Solithus, Xeris, and Alus are like, yeah, this is normal.
Yeah.
The other one was like, holy shit, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, there's the one guy, there's always that one guy who ruins it for everyone because they made a pact with a demon or they're demonically possessed.
It's not my
It
fault for being
happens.
in pact with the demon. Well, actually, it is, but
Well, yes, but actually, yes.
Well, okay,
Let's not
they're demons.
let's not patch shame.
Okay, they're demons. They probably tricked you into making a pact with them.
Either way, yeah, you guys are eventually let out. It's like 4 p.m. But yeah. So next week, so we'll just say for the sake of experience, you guys can like list some short things you couldn't do before you go to bed.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Oh.
I do want to do go on and send me the actual stats for the fucking fist weapons that I'm actually going to be getting whenever they get finished, because I want to be able to have them have the stats for them like written down somewhere so I can just fucking copy and paste it.
Yeah, understood.
also
I'll
I
PM
look
them
up
to you right now.
tomes.
How long would it be? How long would it take for Junior and/or Ratchet to make a pair of Knuckle Dust? Now that I've actually got some decent strength behind it.
From either person, I'd say like a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Junior's the craftsman. That's more for fine tuning stuff or the more delicate, intricate things.
Yeah.
But
Like I could end up making it, and then Junior could end up modifying it. And if I make it, if I roll high enough, it could be magically plus too. And Junior should be able to
yeah,
still modify it afterward because he's a Maester Guild's craftsman.
Yeah,
yeah.
that is a fantastic point. I'm not sure if the claws for theirs were already made or not, but if they were, then I need to put that in as well. And I
Do
need
you
to just
have
go
the
it directly.
I don't know, some iron or steel, some iron brass knuckles would be nice. Cold iron does that just tiny bit extra the fey, just in case.
Oh, yes, I can like pure iron.
Do fey have the version to steel too? Was that just iron?
That's just iron.
Yeah.
Let me check
They just
something.
don't. How do I put it like this? Fae that have lived in the Feywilds for a particularly long time have an allergy to iron.
I mean,
That's
I could.
weird.
I mean, given enough time. Actually, do I have any iron bars left? Now that I think about it, I'm like,
Feel free to check.
I mean, steel would probably be the best, and you've been working on steel for a while.
yeah, I got a good amount of steel. I only have 6 bars of iron, and I don't know how long, like how many bars it would take to be able to convert it into pure iron.
The steel, you can't really separate steel for steel and iron, as
Yeah,
far as I'm.
yeah,
Uh,
but
so the steel would be pretty great for the knuckles, steel knuckles.
yeah. So you want me to do that? Start working on this because I should be able to do that because that is a simple weapon. I should know how to make those.
Yeah. So my goal is to get that and get the hand to hand. That
Yeah.
way, I
I sent you
that
the
way.
one thing. That's actually I just checked my notes. I forgot that there was no the other things. Alec or armored require more people, basically a cult. So that's the only one available to you for now.
What is?
Armored asked how to expedite the Ashen Wolf to speak to him. I sent him a ritual that he can perform.
Okay,
Um,
so is it possible to uh is it
Pardon me while
possible
I
to
go to
contact
a church of Hephaestus.
So,
Yeah, what I'm thinking is I might get those claws made out of silver. Mainly A, since do have seem to have a fair bit of it, but
yeah, we have a shit ton of silver.
yeah, and
Hey,
B,
Ratchet.
that would also provide a pretty decent benefit to the weapon
oh,
itself.
yeah, I forgot there's silver.
yeah, I got
Uh,
I got like 179 bars of silver, man.
what metals do you have?
Uh, let's see. I got silver, scrap metal. Let's see. I got that singular pure animated bar. I got 4 bars of true silver. So
You really need to make a mirror with that.
yeah, I really do. Let's see. Let's see. I got 53 steel bars. Uh, yeah. I also have that high quality sand, which with that high quality sand, I could make some really quality glass. Make like solid mirror.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
Per, yeah.
Alistair walks up to Ratchet like, "Hey, Ratchet,
Yep.
I need to do a ritual, and I need about 1 ton of armor and swords."
Specifically made of iron.
1 ton of
One
iron.
ton
Yeah.
of iron.
I only have 6 bars, man. Dude.
You'd have to visit a
you,
local. You'd have to visit most smiths here, and maybe several forge priests.
you just
Okay.
I just imagining Ratchet just like counting the iron bars. 1, 2, 6, and just
Having to
looks
flip
back up.
through.
Just looks back at Ratchet or looks back at Alistair. I only have 6.
Shit. I don't even know where that's from, but either way.
Uh, hey, Auntie.
Jawohl.
So, you know how the claw gauntlet is a D4?
Mm-hmm.
I do a D6 as base.
You then it's increased to a D6.
Ah,
Actually,
You
after
choose the higher of the two.
yeah,
okay,
And if
yeah,
it has
that.
fifth property, you can just use unarmed strike stuff. If you
Ah,
want.
yeah,
yeah,
all right,
not
fair enough. Then.
No
All right,
problem.
then, yeah, no, then fucking, I don't see what I'm concerned about.
I
yeah,
sent you the craftsman and the pugilist, the stuff from the pugilist
Yeah.
class by Benjamin Hoffman, because they
yeah.
both have unarmored weapons that basically follow the same rule.
Out of curiosity, do you have proficiency in martial weapons or just simple weapons?
Uh, let me double check. I believe I've only got the simple though, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Only
cause
simp. Okay, I see you're
Yeah,
a
just
simp.
simple. Yeah, just
I
simple.
mean, I
Okay,
mean,
simp.
I could train you in martial weapon proficiency since I have literally all forms of. The only thing I'm missing is exotic.
yeah,
Ah, yeah.
because I realized that if you do a lot of improvements onto a fist, you can essentially bump that thing up to a D10 if you got the proper proficiencies.
God. Ferris would become a fucking monster if he had a D10.
Yeah, that's
I
if you
mean,
had the right
there's,
proficiencies.
Obviously.
I mean, there's that feat in the 41 feats 5e that bumps up your your unarmed attack by a dice stage.
And here's the thing. I also found a feat that lets me add another fucking D4 on top of that.
Hmm, nice.
Unarmed weapons, unarmed attack.
Yeah, I
Okay, yeah.
believe the name. I can't recall where I found it, but the name of it is Unarmed Master.
Oh, uh, I will. Actually, the silver would probably be better
All right,
now
so yeah.
since you got. So,
All right, I'll make
uh,
some whatever you
All
need
right.
out of silver.
You can collaborate. You can collaborate. And continue next session and finish, and we can continue next session.
Okay.
So stop the recording. Feel free.
All right, stopping.